Welcome to the She Builds Show. I'm your host, Stefanie Olson, a licensed general contractor who builds new construction, renovates, and designs your vision. Today, more than ever, we need raw, authentic women who are willing to rise above society's norms, break those glass ceilings, and encourage each other to boldly build the life we were meant to live. So, honey, what are you building? Today on the She Builds Show, I am welcoming Jade from DYM Builders, which is a family-owned boutique company that handles every aspect of construction and vows to give the best contracting experience. So welcome to the show, Jade.
Thank you, Stefanie. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm great. We had a crazy rain last night, which is not normal for California at this time of the year. So I'm happy to wake up to like refreshed weather. And so can you just tell me a little bit about yourself? Where do you live? Who's in your family? I just kind of want to know a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, David and I live in LA. In the city, we're very, very urban, even though since we have two babies and during COVID, we started to explore the outdoor a little bit more. But in our nature, we're very, very urban. So we live in LA, in the city, Pico Robertson area. We have two kids, Ellie and Joseph, 2 and 1. So
oh my gosh.
A lot of, going on in our life.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It is. We both come from the legal field of construction. We used to practice in planning and zoning back in Israel. We worked with developers. We helped to improve land. We changed the zoning of different lands. We helped to actually build cities and new neighborhoods. And we brought basically all of our tools and knowledge and skills into what we call a new world of construction. I also practiced as a real estate agent in Florida. I worked with a lot of developers. I pretty much managed their investment properties and construction and remodeling because they all want to fix and flip. Mm-hmm. And then I realized that I like the construction aspect of it better.
Right.
And that's where we started our journey in construction.
That's amazing.
Yes. And in general, both of our families, David's grandfather was a builder. He worked in Europe, in Africa, in Israel, a lot of parts of Israel. My father is a developer. He just
I can see your husband in the mirror behind you. Hi.
David, say hi.
Say hi. You can't hide behind there. I can see you in the mirror.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Thanks for letting me steal your wife for a little bit.
You have the coolest name.
Oh, thank you.
He built.
Yeah.
The best.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to know more about what you guys are doing. Okay, so tell me, I love, kind of your journey just kind of started with, the legal aspect, probably just trying to get a job and it kind of fell into it. Then I want to know more about first, like, what does DYM stand for? Let's start there.
DYM is our initial. It's David. My full name is Yarden, and Malka is our last name. So just like the company, you get us, David and Yarden. Everyone calls me Jade, but my full name is Yarden. So that's DYM. It's a family-owned business, and that's what it stands for. And you literally get us.
Right, just you, the dream team.
Yep.
So when you say a new world of construction, can you just elaborate? I want to know what you mean by that.
Okay. So in our experience, of course, I cannot include all of the contractor, but from our experience and at least my customers' experience, the way we see the old generation of construction is contractors that don't really communicate all the time, don't back up their word, they don't show up, they're not really driven by the result, they just do what they told to do. And it creates a lot of issues between the end user and the contractor, right? Sometimes, a customer says, I want A, the contractor think, okay, he wants A to me, A is actually B, for example. So that's what I'm going to do. And I will do it in my own pace, whenever I want, whenever I can, if I can get the crew, yes or no. Of course, not all of them. I have to say not all of them, but in our experience or my customers' experience. Mm-hmm. When we say a new world of construction, we mean taking everything. We start from the last part, the result. What is it that you want to have? Now, it's not enough to just describe it, because both you and I can interpret words or, let's say, product in different ways. So basically, once we have a rendering or a very clear picture of what is the customer wants, then we start all the planning phase and we guide them through all the purchasing phase, which is very important, especially now with all the supply chain and issues and delay. We are basically working with the customer from the very, very preliminary early stage of just gathering all the ideas, craft it into something that we can actually describe, and then build it. So the customer is in control, involved as much as they want. Some of them don't really want to be involved. That's fine. But most of them want to be involved, and they just don't know how, because they cannot be involved by drilling or doing the construction, but they want to be heard. They want to bring all of their ideas, vision, and wish list into something that is a full, let's call it like a full plan. Mm-hmm. So that's what we do. And then obviously in the construction phase, we really focus on communication and customer service. So basically we're with them until the very end.
That's beautiful. And you know what, I asked you that because that is like precisely why one of the reasons I started my business. And I completely align with you, because there's just such the industry, I'm not sure why, but the industry, there's so many beautiful industries where customers come first, and we're just taught that service and customer service is expected in every industry. And when it comes to construction, it's nowhere to be found. There's not a beautiful customer service where the client is actually, being served well. And out of my frustrations, and I'm sure yours, I was fueled into, you know what, I'm going to do this myself, because I can't stand the way, one, I'm not even getting a call back or communication, or not getting the vision that I envisioned to come to life. And I wanted to create something, which it sounds like you guys did too, where the customer is so happy with what they envisioned, and we executed it beautifully, and we communicated daily and let them know that what's going on and how we're communicating. And to me, it's just like, that should be the standard in the industry. That should be how every customer feels. And I think that what you guys are doing is going to lift the industry up and saying, hey, no, this is the new expectation. This is the new way we have to treat people, because once they get a taste of what you're doing, they should be expecting it. And I think that that's so cool that you guys have really made that your mission, because we just need more of it in the industry. We just need more customer service. And I'm so proud of your new world construction idea. I love the terminology there. That's awesome.
Stefanie, I think that this is a very feminine point of view. And I think that there is a reason that this is your go-to and my go-to. And I think that the more women will be involved in this field, because I guess we are, it's something in our nature to make people happy, not just do it. I know, not all the men are like that, of course, but men are result driven and women driven by the journey or the way or the process.
The experience.
So we care about the process. Exactly.
Yeah. So tell me kind of what your role is in DYM. And I just kind of want to know, from that instance of giving a client an experience and just I love the way that you break it down into your phases. I saw that on your website. It's like, okay, we're just going to sit down and we're just going to listen. We want to know what you want, because most of the time, a lot of people come to a contractor because they've been thinking about it for a long time and they know what they want. And if they don't, it's our job to try to help them. But I love that you kind of break it down into these phases of meet with me, let me help you, let me create it so you can see it, and then let me actually build it. What part, are you best at? Do you love to do? What's kind of your role?
So David and I tried, between us, we did each and every aspect of this business. And we got into a decision that I'm better at the field, managing the crew, in direct communication with the customer, and really, making sure to tie all the loose ends in the field and in the project. David enjoys more the preliminary phase of planning and design. He's extremely, detail oriented when it comes to planning ahead of time. My role is to make sure that it's being done this way. I'm better in the field.
So you're kind of like executing the plan.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I will, first of all, any customer that calls us or someone that is inquire about our service will talk to me. Again, it's very, very personal, and it's very important for people to know that when they call, I'm the one that pick up the phone, not my secretary, not my office manager, not my foreman. They talk to me. I want to identify their needs and see exactly what I want to do, and I will be the one to meet them. Obviously, once we get a clear or better idea of what needs to be done, kind of like I would call it the grand plan, then they will meet David. David will guide them through the process of planning and design, and he will create, together with our architect, he will create the blueprint and he will present it to them, and he will walk them through it. I would call it imaginary. And we'll tell them, okay, you're walking into your kitchen. Do you turn the switch, on your right hand, left hand? What do you need? What do you see? What is missing? So he is extremely detailed oriented. He will take the time to ask you, okay, the bracket, should it be black or stainless steel, or the metal flash, you want it in a different color? Everything ahead of time. I get a very clear guideline of what needs to be done, how it needs to be, at the end, what will be the end result. And it makes my job, fun and easy.
Yeah, you just get to execute the plan. That's amazing. So you guys really are a beautiful, balanced team. When, working with your husband, so my husband and I, we don't exactly like work together on a daily basis like you guys do. How long have you guys been married? And is there any struggles that you guys have come up against? I worked with my dad for over, 15 years. And when we first started the journey, he's one of the most important people in my life. I could never imagine that relationship getting damaged by some work situation. We immediately just started therapy together because I was just we both agreed that we were going to do whatever it took to make sure that the relationship was okay, because working with each other is, a different dynamic, and that turned out beautifully for us. But I just am wondering, how is that for you guys?
Well, not easy.
Yes, and you have 2 little children.
It's hectic. And we tried, we tried each one on his own. We tried with different partners. We realized that there is something that needs a lot of work and maintenance and therapy, like you said, but there is something that makes us bigger and better when we work together. I cannot put my finger on it. I cannot point exactly what is it. And it's not easy. Really, it's not easy. I work with him. I come to the house. He's the first person I see when I open my eyes, and the last person I see when I close my eyes and throughout the day. But we are trying as much as we can, even though we live and we breathe the business, and you are in construction, and you care about your customers. So, there is no actual business hours, and customers will text me at 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m. They feel comfortable comfortable. I will not always answer, but they feel comfortable to do that. And obviously, it kind of blends into our personal life. But we're trying to make this cut and learn. Every day is obviously a process, but learn how to be a married couple and business partners and parents. And it's not always easy. And of course, some days are better and some days are not as great. But the understanding that together we are bigger and better than what we are as individuals makes us want to, work for it and practice and do whatever it takes, like you said.
Right. And, my kids are older now, but I know when my kids were little, that age, it is a whole other stress because they're still not sleeping great and you're not getting a lot of rest, and just being parents to little kids is hard. And do you guys have people that help you, with your personal life and the kids and all of that? Tell me a little bit how because I think a lot of our listeners are curious. How do you be a mom, a wife, and run a kick-ass business in construction? I have people that help me and I couldn't do it without them. So I'm just kind of wondering what your picture looks like right now.
So first of all, this is something that I struggled with at the beginning, and David really insists on doing it. It starts with planning. Obviously, I have a babysitter, I have a nanny, my kids are in daycare, but still I am a mom. So afternoon, 5 to 8, I am a full-time mom. Of course, that I pick up the phone whenever I need, but I'm trying to be really with my kids. Everything is in our calendar, as crazy as it sounds. Maybe for you, not that crazy, but we plan ahead everything. We woke up every morning very, very early to work out. I care about that. The kids wake up around 6:30, 7, and then we have our hour and a half to be, to spend some time together. They go to daycare. We go to work sometimes earlier. And when they come back, I always have someone here with me so we can, give attention to both of them at different times. We have date nights in our calendar. We try to plan our weekends very, very carefully so we have time, to create nice experience or go out with the kids and spend some family time. Yeah, I think it's very important to be as planned as possible. We leave very small room for, unexpected surprises.
Things that come up.
Yes.
Do you feel like, I think that honestly that planning and knowing what's to be expected actually brings like the level of anxiety and overwhelm down, because then you just kind of, okay, this is what my day looks like today and I know what to expect. And, it doesn't feel so chaotic. So do you feel that way, or do you just feel like, overwhelmed all the time?
So, construction, I can plan my day as much as I want.
Yeah.
But it is construction. So I leave myself room, I would say between 8 to 4. I know what is the 3 things that I have to do, no matter how much phone calls or job sites or inspectors I need to talk to. I have to focus on 1 to 3 and I have to do it. It doesn't matter when, as long as it's get done. Because it's very hard to plan your day in construction, especially when you're out in the field. And you live in California and you have traffic. So,
oh my gosh, I couldn't deal with the traffic.
Yes, in my car, that's what I do, phone calls. And when I get back to the office, I have, even if it's just a little time, I will do that. And in the field, I have my daily routine and tasks. So obviously, again, some days are better and more, scheduled and planned. And some days it's like the Wild West.
Yeah. When, that thing that you just said about the top 3 things. I do that on a daily basis as well. But for me, it's from traction. And I have like a traction journal, and it's like the top 3 things I need to get done today. This is, I'm really intentional and I'm really focused on every day. And yes, lots of other things come up, and yes, lots of other things need to be done. But, I try to really prioritize. Did you, have you guys done a lot of like business conferences or business books, or are you trying, you seem like a person that's really willing and open and wanting to learn. I know you don't come from, I read a lot of your history, and it sounds like a lot of your family were entrepreneurs and owned their own businesses and things like that. Are you guys just always trying to evolve and be better? Where does that mindset come from? Is there any like specific thing that you follow in your business that you're like, we've adopted this business strategy? Is there something that is there for you?
In general, we obviously, we believe that you need to learn and improve every day. So yes, we have business coaches, and we're trying to go to all, the expos and conferences to improve ourselves, to become more efficient. In general, I think David and I both on the same page as far as satisfaction. We decided that, no matter what, we will finish the job when it's more, obviously, eventually it's all about the customer, but it's more important that we would be proud of it. And we decided that we will never, and I hope you don't know, but some projects are, bring you to the edge, as far as the relationship with the customer or the complexity of the project. But we decided that we will finish any project that we started, no matter what. And we will do it the best, at the end of the day, for me, not even for my customer, which is obviously for him is the best outcome, but for me. So I would be proud of what I did. It's not something that I will check and go on to the next project.
Right. You want to be proud of the work you've done and the way you handled it. Yeah. And I 100% agree that it is a difficult, when you're in your position where you're doing remodels, or which it seems like that's a lot of what you do, and you're in a high market area with high net worth people that have a lot of money to be able to put into these things. They have very high expectations. And I completely understand that it's hard to be patient all of the time and to be professional and to be kind, and that it pushes you, over your edge. So I feel like there should be a support group for construction, where you can just like dump all the bad things that clients have said to you, and then just be like, okay, now I'm good.
Let it go.
Let it go now. So when you say you're communicating to clients, during the construction phase, do you have a software that you use to do that? Or is it just like texting and that sort of thing?
We tried a new app. It's called Spond. I think SPOND, Spond. We're still testing it. We mostly communicate with group text. For every project, we have a group with the customer, the office manager, my foreman, and of course, myself. Phone calls, we are available all the time, either me or my office. But as far as, our rule is that for daily updates, schedule, something that we need to answer ASAP, text us. My office, they're all, have their own phones on them. If it's something that related to new items that they want, additional service, or something that requires pictures and long description, we will do it via email. It's easier. We will print it. We will go over it. We will take it with us, and it makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah. So I use Builder Trend. I don't know if I'm sure you've probably heard of that, but it took a little while for us to kind of figure it out, because it's a pretty extensive software. What it does do is it has an owner portal page. We've, for every project, we put the schedule in, and the owner can see the schedule. So they can see the schedule, and then they can comment on anything. And then it has a feature of daily logs. And I have like a specific employee that her job is to do a daily log every single day on every project. And so the customer is constantly getting updated through that portal and their owner site, and they can see photos, they can see the schedule, and you can also accept payment and everything there. I'm not sponsored by Buildertrain. It kind of just sounded like I was. I'm just trying to help another fellow person. It's just been like I said, it took a while for me to figure it out, but now I really feel like it's been a way to keep from them contacting my phone every single day, all day. And because they're seeing the plan that we've made and they know what to expect, and they see all you can have selections and all kinds of stuff on there. It does way more than I'm even using, but just a little helpful hint from another person, if that's helpful.
Yeah, of course.
I kind of wanted to know just a little sense of your projects. Like, how long do they take? And like, can you give me some range of budget? Like, I'm just curious, I'm from Northern California where stuff's on a small scale here. And I know you're in LA. I just kind of want the audience to kind of get a glimpse into like, what is it that you do? Because it feels like you're on a longer term project that takes a bit of time and bigger budgets. Just curious if you'll share.
Yeah, of course. So we do remodeling, but mostly complete remodel and new construction. It can be ADUs, garage conversion, custom homes, whatever it is. I would say, let's start from remodeling. If it's not structural, basically, if the customer doesn't want to knock down any load-bearing walls or create new openings to the exterior, it can take anywhere between 3 to 5 months. It depends on the scope, right? If we touch every single piece of the house, bathrooms, kitchen, flooring, painting, roof, exterior, landscaping, it will be more towards, I would say, 5 months. Price range, let's say, I'm going to focus on the interior because exterior is a whole different story.
Right.
But let's say customers with 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, kitchen that wants to do pretty much everything inside, they will be, and it depends in if they want just cosmetic, they want electrical and plumbing involved, but they are somewhere in between $100,000 to $200,000 worth of remodeling. When it comes to new construction, prices are insane right now, as you know. So garage conversion that used to be in $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 are now more towards low hundreds, low to mid hundreds, sometimes with the materials because it's tiny, it's super small. And then the bigger ADUs, we even have eventually sometimes we build 1,200 square feet ADU. It's a mini house. It's a 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. It's big. It's a house.
Right.
Those can run between $300,000, $400,000, $500,000.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
And I know.
But that's like normal. I mean, for custom materials and
a house, if you're planning to buy a 1,200 square feet house, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths in LA market, LA and Orange County market, you will spend close to $1 million.
That's what I was going to say.
The house, right? And it always requires remodeling. So you're going to spend $100,000 plus more money to remodel it to make it to your taste.
Right.
So to build a mini house, if your lot allows it, right? If you have the size and the ability, you're going to spend 40-50% less.
Yeah. No,
and
that's better than $1 million.
Better than $1 million, exactly.
Yeah. Just real quick, I'm wondering who's on kind of your team? Like, do you guys contract everything out? Do you sub everything out? Do you have designers, architects on staff? I'm just kind of curious.
We have designers in our staff. We collaborate with architects and engineers, so they mainly work with us. I think not a lot of homeowners know, but when they do the process of plans on their own, most of the time, the architect that they hire doesn't know the engineer. He just happened to have someone that stamped the plans.
Right.
And it creates a lot of discrepancy. I've seen it. I work with customers, which I'm not going to do it anymore. I work with customers that had their own plans, and we had to follow the plans. And every step of the way we had issues. The customers purchased, windows by the window schedule. It didn't work with the engineering details, with the headers, with the framing, with the shear walls. And we are, the bad guy, deliver all those
bad news. Yeah.
News, right? So what we do review for the plans. We meet in the house with my architect to go over each and every step of the way and explain them what is it that they have in the plan and if we can expect any issues or project any issues with that. So we collaborate with engineer and architect, of course, because we work on hillside and we have to have someone experienced enough. Designers we have in-house in our crew. We do sub out electrical and plumbing. I think especially the rough phase. Finishes, we do it on, in-house. But I believe that electrical work needs to be done by licensed electrician and plumbing work needs to be done by licensed plumber. Everything else is our crew, our team. We do it all in-house.
Wow, that's amazing. So you have framers, roofers, tile, finish, counters.
Drywall, paint, yes.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
It is. Thank God we keep them busy. And even, through COVID, well, I guess, it got better.
Yeah, it got better. Yeah, it didn't get worse.
Yeah. So luckily, we were able to keep them busy every step of the way. Yeah, we're very blessed because, we can say everything about this company, but the company is my crew.
Right.
So they're the one that makes us proud and make my customer happy, and we have nothing without them. We are very blessed to have the same guys for many, many years working with us, and it's the best thing, for us.
How do you think you've kept those relationships? Like, tell me what you guys have stood for, or what do you think you've done that just have really, because to me, those relationships are everything, and honoring them is really like who gets the credit for the good work, the good craftsmanship. What have you done to just try to make sure that has continued that way? Because I know that that's really a big portion and part of having a successful construction business.
It's a huge part. It's, I would say, 75%, right? To make a good work. And that's thanks to them. I think that we see them as our family, our crew. They come to my house. We have parties. We have events. We treat them well. They're not just workers for us. End of the day, it's done. I don't know you. We have very close relationship. I'm invited to their family events. Yeah. And they come to my family events and holidays, being respectful to my crew's holidays or special days or needs or family needs. Because at the end of the day, we're all human, we are all human beings. And I have family and my framer has family, right? And sometimes he has issue. So it's not just work and that's it. You have to be respectful to your crew and treat everyone the same, right? Yeah. It's not that I'm the business owner and you're the worker in the field. We have distance and we have nothing to communicate or to do with each other.
Right.
They're like family for us. They come to our house.
I love that.
Really good.
Yeah. You really just treat them with respect and kindness and as though they matter, and I think that's beautiful.
They
and
matter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
And they want to keep working for you. Okay, so one last question. What do you absolutely love about what you do? And then maybe if you have some word of encouragement for somebody that's starting out or wants to get into the industry.
I like to create. So obviously looking back to see before and after and see how happy my client is, I like it. I mean, that's what I aim. That's what I'm looking for throughout the whole process, and it can be very long. I want to see the feedback at the end. I think that for someone that just started or wants to start, I would say that no compromising, right? I met, and I've done it at the beginning. some work that I didn't feel good about that because the customer wanted and he really pressured me. And I had to do things that I didn't really want to because it shouldn't be like that, or it didn't look so good, or he wanted to cut so many corners. And we felt, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. Even when I managed, properties for my investors, and they wanted to do that because eventually they are the homeowners and they own, the property and responsible for the remodeling. I felt that once we decided, okay, this is my red lines or this is my boundaries, and no matter what, I refuse business on daily basis. If it's not the way we believe it should be, I would prefer to say no and stay with good relationship with my neighbors or friends or colleague or even someone from the street. I will just not do that. And I think when you are a beginner, you tend to say yes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, it bites you.
Yes,
That's what
it does. And you know what? I think what's also beautiful about being a woman, like we have a I'm very like in touch and in tune with my intuition and like that feeling of, ooh, I don't really mesh with these people and I feel like they're going to make my life miserable, or
yes,
I don't think the project lines up. And so what I've done is just really learned. And I think when you're beginning, you're just like, yes, I just need work and I just need money and I'll do whatever you want. And as you get more experienced, you're like, no. And saying no for women is probably the hardest thing to do. But then, like, you're right. Every single time you say yes, when you mean no, it ends up coming back and you learn the lesson the hard way. And I'd rather not.
And as a woman, it regards, to all aspects.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, no is no. And
I have a saying on my wall that if it's not a hell yes, it's a no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if it's a hell yes, it will be the most amazing project, fun, even with all the hiccups. And, construction is not for people with anxiety.
Yeah, exactly.
The hell yes.
It's going to be amazing. Yeah. And I've kind of set up a really good gatekeeper with my team, that if I'm having on the fence, if I'm not sure if it's a yes or a no, because the client's convincing me of something that's kind of going against my internal, direction, I'll bring it to my team. And if we don't have a all hands on deck vote, yes, then it's a no. And I've learned to not feel pressured and just take it to my team and go, what do you guys think? Because I suck at saying no sometimes and I'm getting blinded by this. And it's nice that they'll be like, no, it doesn't line up with our goals. It doesn't line up. Or yes, we love it. We're all on board. Because if they're not on board and I'm pushing them to do something that they know is not good, it's not going to turn out well. So there should be a whole lesson on this topic.
That's for a different podcast, right?
Yeah. How to say no.
Yes.
Okay, so Jade, where can people find you? Where can they follow you? Tell the people.
Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube. Our website we have a blog that's always updated.
What's your Instagram?
DYM.Builders.
Okay. And you guys, you have to check out her Instagram. Your work is absolutely stunning and the quality is so incredible. If you just want to see beautiful pictures and be inspired, if you can't hire her because you don't work in LA, I suggest you just follow her for her incredible work. Thanks for joining me today on the She Build Show. My name is Stefanie Olson. My hope is that this episode leaves you feeling empowered and ready to boldly take that step into building the life that you envision, 1 2x4 at a time. And if you can do me a quick favor, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes. I get giddy over reading the reviews each week, and I will choose one special person to win some She Build swag. Make sure you add your name to the review, and I'll reach out if you're the winner. Thanks again for hanging out. Be sure to visit me at theshebuildshow.com, where you can ask me questions and share with me what you're building.